Yo, tapping in real quick. Final thoughts on Ronaldo Rodriguez and Ode Osbourne. And why I'm on the side I'm on, which is the side of Ode Osbourne, to be the one to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's talk about it, man. Because I get it. The 15 and 2 sitting next to Ronaldo's name looks a hell of a lot more appealing than the 12 and 7 sitting next to Ode's name. But let's talk about your boy Ronaldo for a minute. Because as of yet, in my personal opinion, what I believe to be facts as of yet in these 17 fights in this 15 and 2 run, he has yet to face any legitimate levels of opposition in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I believe that to be a fact. And he is currently 1-1 as far as UFC is concerned, with the one loss coming to Jerome Rivera via decision. Jerome Rivera, who is 1-4 inside the UFC, with the one win being the win over Ronaldo Rodriguez. He was 0-3 coming into his fight with Ronaldo, who allowed him to improve to 1-4 via losing a decision in a disgusting display of mixed martial arts by both individuals, in my personal opinion, man. He let bum-ass Jerome Rivera, who was 0-3 for good reason inside the UFC coming into this matchup with him, hold him to under 20, I believe 19 significant strikes total over the course of 15 minutes, while also only allowing him to secure 2 takedowns, which he did absolutely nothing with, attempted 2 submissions. You understand what I'm saying to you? Over the course of 15 minutes. He held him to under 20 significance and allowed him to secure only 2 takedowns, at which time he attempted 2 submissions, which were no good. Old boy got back up to the feet and got back to his poor display of mixed martial arts, where he was able to outland him, 2.5 to 1. You know what I mean? 48, almost 50 significant strikes to his 19 significant strikes, and stuffing some takedowns while allowing 2 takedowns. This is the performance. This is the body of work produced against Jerome Rivera. Y'all can miss me with that shit, man. And then his one win is against Dennis Bondor, who is 0-3 inside the UFC. He was 0-2 inside the UFC prior to his matchup with Ronaldo. Now he's 0-3 inside the UFC. He's lost every which way you can lose inside the UFC. He was knocked out the first bout, lost decision the next bout, lost via submission to Ronaldo in his third bout, and struck smooth the fuck out. You understand what I'm talking about? So he lost to Jerome Rivera, who was 0-3 inside the UFC, and let him improve to 1-4 inside the UFC. Then he beat Dennis Bondor, who was 0-2 inside the UFC and is now 0-3 inside the UFC. We're on the other side of things. Ode, yeah, he lost to Asul Amabayev, who I believe is, 3-1 inside the UFC, and in my personal opinion, would get Ronaldo the fuck up out of there, or at the very least, hand him a loss via unanimous decision. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. He lost to Asul Amabayev, who I believe is 3-1 inside the UFC. He lost to Rafael Fiallo, who is 3-1 inside the UFC. He lost to Manel, and I also believe would beat Ronaldo, but again, that's just my personal opinion. He lost to Manel Kopp, who's like 5-4 inside the UFC, and I also believe would beat Ronaldo Rodriguez, but that's just my personal opinion. But near one of those 3 losses, in my personal opinion, are bad losses. Asul Amabayev, 3-1 in the UFC. Rafael Fiallo, 3-1 inside the UFC. And Manel Kopp, 5-4 inside the UFC. Nor is the loss to Brian Kelleher, in my personal opinion, 8-9 inside the UFC. The record inside the UFC might not say that to y'all, but I personally believe Brian Kelleher has been robbed quite a few times by the judges on the cards. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But I do believe Brian Kelleher to be a higher level of opposition than that of anybody that Ronaldo has had to face. Again, this is all just my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? We could do without the loss to Tyson name, but it very much is what it is. On the other side, his wins. Charles Johnson, that's a solid win, in my personal opinion. And, you know, CJ Vergara, to be determined. And the other three individuals that he's beaten inside the UFC, in my personal opinion, are Womp Womp and Womp. But one of those Womps is Jerome Rivera. And he knocked Jerome Rivera out and got him out of there inside the distance via KO, TKO, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, inside of 1 minute. Well, I know one thing has nothing to do with the other, but on the other side of things, over the course of 15 minutes, Ronaldo was only able to lock up and secure two takedowns, attempt 2 submissions, and land a total of 19 significant strikes. Over the course of 15 minutes, that was the body of work produced by Ronaldo against bum-ass Jerome Rivera. While in the course of 1 minute, I believe within 30 seconds, O'Day only needed to land 1 significant shot to drop Jerome, and then finish in, then, follow up with the finishing strikes to get him out of there inside of a minute. Now, again, I know one thing has nothing to do with the other, but it very much is what it is, and facts are what they are, man. You know what I'm talking about? They have one similar opponent in common, and that's Jerome Rivera. And what Ronaldo was able to do with Jerome Rivera was lose via decision and only produce a body of work that looked like 19 significant strikes, 2 takedowns secured, and 2 submission attempts. While on the other side, he let Jerome Rivera out significantly strike him, almost 3-1, and stuff, multiple takedowns, and produced a better all-around body of work over the course of 15 minutes to secure a decision and improve from 0-3 inside the UFC to 1-4 inside the UFC. That's what Ronaldo was able to do with Jerome. Where O'Day very much used that physical attribute, which is his reach advantage, to his advantage, as well as his speed advantage and the pop that he possesses in his individual shots. And he got old boy the fuck up out of there, man. I'm telling you, I really don't know what the fuck we're talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I just don't fucking get it. I don't understand what the conversation is, man. O'Day Osbourne is the higher level of opposition in this matchup. O'Day Osbourne has faced the higher level of opposition throughout his career. O'Day Osbourne's wins and losses on his resume are more respectable than anything going on Ronaldo's resume. This is a, Noche UFC 2024. He's representing the Mexican flag with quite a few other individuals representing their heritage on this card. So I guess we're making him a favorite. I know we're not making him a favorite based off his last performance, not a submission victory over Dennis Bondar, who was 0-2 coming into his matchup with Ronaldo and is now 0-3 inside the UFC and is lost via knockout, decision, and submission. I mean, come the fuck on. I know we're not basing it off of this, man. Why is he even the favorite? Why did he start off the favorite? I've been catching O'Day at a dog price all the way on down to plus 102 was the last thing I called him at. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I don't understand why he was ever the underdog in this matchup, man. Why? He lost to Asul Amabayev, Rafael Fiallo, and old boy lost to Jerome Rivera and then beat Dennis Bondar. Like, we're making him a favorite because he beat Dennis Bondar? Get the fuck up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not better than the motherfucking win that O'Day has over Charles Johnson, who's fighting on the card and knocked out, Joshua Van as a dog. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't even believe that it's a better win than CJ Vergara. Matter of fact, it's not. Dennis Bondar is not a better win than CJ Vergara. You understand what I'm saying to you? Listen, man, there is nothing about Ronaldo's resume, Ronaldo's body of work that he has produced, that I believe he's capable of producing anything that makes me believe this individual has a fighting fucking chance, a puncher's fucking chance, or any chance against O'Day Osbourne, man. I believe O'Day Osbourne is going to get him out of there. And I believe he's going to get him out of there in spectacular fashion, man. I'm talking about he's going to use that reach advantage and that speed advantage very much to his advantage. He's going to catch and clip Ronaldo, man. He might fuck around just because club and sub. You know what I'm talking about? He might catch him, clip him instead of completely disconnecting him, just hop on him and, sink something in, lock something up, and get him out of there via submission inside the distance just because. You know what I mean? Or he might beat the shit out of him for 15 minutes if Ronaldo can survive, man. But that's very much, in my personal opinion, what he's going to have to do in this matchup with O'Day Osbourne, man. Nothing about anybody he faced prior to coming into the UFC, and absolutely nothing about the loss to Jerome Rivera and the win over Dennis Bondor impresses or moves me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Where on the other side, O'Day has the speed, O'Day has the experience, O'Day has the pop, O'Day has the reach, O'Day has the experience of facing a higher level of opposition. O'Day has beaten a higher level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? O'Day, in my personal opinion, is the higher level of opposition. I don't see where Ronaldo wins this fight, man. And if people think he's just going to come out there and ragdoll O'Day Osbourne around and aggressively put him in compromisable positions, aggressively searching for submissions and getting O'Day Osbourne out of there inside the distance when he couldn't do so to Jerome Rivera, you can miss me with that bullshit. Now, I know one thing has nothing to do with the other, but you can very much miss me with that bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? It's not happening, man. It's not happening. You know what I'm talking about? It's not going to be a clean sweep for the Mexican flag, man. You know what I mean? This is one of the individuals, unfortunately, that will be taking an L. Now, if I got to tap back into this particular video and rub anything in my chest Saturday, Sunday morning, I'll do so. Respect. But I don't believe that's going to happen, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. O'Day.